We've been going to parks for a long time.
Even me.
Even you. So, what are those early memories? Funny moments? What are the things that stick out?
Put on your nostalgia hats. If you've seen Inside Out 2.
Here we go. I've probably been going to theme parks for a lot longer than you have.
Maybe just a little bit.
Just a little. You just agreed I'm old. Thanks. Anyways, so everybody's got their early memories. I definitely have mine of my first time. I recorded a video way back and haven't talked about it since. But it'd be fun. So what's your first memory?
A lot of my first memories come from Six Flags St. Louis because that's where I grew up going to. And my mom and I would go a lot, and we would mostly hang around what was the precursor to Bugs Bunny National Park. Like, this was a long time ago. These are just very niche, specific memories that still stick out in my head. And I realized I was taking notes for this, and they're all very boring, but they've stuck with me all this time.
Because you're such a boring person.
Yeah. You know me.
She needs to liven it up. I mean, just needs more energy.
I don't have that. Not at all. Never. But
okay.
I was kind of organizing my thoughts, and I was realizing these are very mundane memories, but they're very, very vivid.
Okay.
And most of them do take place in, I think it used to be called Looney Tunes Town.
Okay.
I think.
At Six Flags Mid-America.
Yeah. And
I'm proud of that bug.
No, you should be. That's very cool. The first thing that came to mind was this very mundane thing that I would spend like probably hours going up, down, and around, up, down, and around. My mom probably got so bored. It was called the cat climb. And it was just like a little ropes, not a ropes course, but like you could just climb up
the little rope up the top of the thing, slide down into the balls.
Yeah, no, just a slide, actually. No ball pit. That's why I was getting all these together. I was like, wow.
The kids' areas back when we were little were so different.
So bare bones compared to now.
But they were all a lot more hands-on, too.
Exactly. Like, those are, like, all the interactive things I remember doing. That's what I remember. So even though the things I'll probably describe are pretty mundane.
So my kids, there was a padded, giant, triangular pyramid that you would climb up the top.
Yeah.
And then fall off.
But that's what they remember.
Yeah.
That's what we remember. I don't remember that. But
jumping things, ball pits, which you don't have for lots of good reasons now.
Lots of good reasons.
We had, a lot of climbing things. And
yeah, that's a lot of what I remember. So like the cat climb, you climb up the ropes and you slide down. I did that in circles for hours and hours and hours. It wasn't entertaining for my mom. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom, for putting them.
Mom was probably sitting there going, oh, thank God she's over there and I can rest.
Yeah. So that like the vivid memory was the cat climb back there, and then maybe even less interesting back in that same section. I actually had to look up a name. It did have a name, the Bugs Bunny Burrows.
Ooh.
And it was like smaller than a McDonald's play place. It was a set of yellow tubes, and I remember the bright yellow and like the green bubble windows that you could pop up and while you're burrowing, and it had different hands-on things that you could crawl through and different textures and another like small slide at the end. It wasn't even that interesting. The big slide on the cat climb was more interesting than the Bugs Bunny burrows.
Goodness.
That's what I remember though. These are the things that I dig way back, and this is what I remember.
I remember Marine World Africa USA's kid area. I remember my sister falling off of the slide. Which actually turns out, so this goes way back. Marine World Africa USA was one of these places that couldn't exist anymore. I got a whole video on that. It was not quite Action Park level, but it was out there. Yeah. They'd walk live tigers through the crowds. Right past all the people in there.
2025 would faint.
But they had this deal where it was, you held onto a handle and then you slid down a zip line. Holding on, nothing clipping you on.
Nothing under you?
Nothing. Then underneath, they had these plastic tarps over water. So if you landed on it, you smack. My sister was like 4 or 5, and no adult supervision on it.
Oh, of course
so
not.
I went ahead of her, zipped on down. She gets a hold of this thing and she immediately lets go. My dad actually took a picture of her, like she's a foot off of the thing and she falls.
She's like mid-fall.
But these things, the San Francisco 49ers had done a TV special relay shortly after it opened.
Yeah.
And one of their star players, a guy named Randy Cross, broke his ankle on that thing.
On that, of
Lost
all
the whole
things.
season. Yeah, that was kids' playgrounds back then.
Great.
So
There was nothing like a probably 80s, 90s, 2000s kids area.
Yeah,
There's
but-
truly nothing like it.
and nobody thought about suing. Well, okay, Randy Cross did.
True.
Don't blame him. But
Oops.
yeah, at the time, I was like, yeah, it's kid stuff. Kids
Yeah.
get hurt.
Exactly. We made it out. We made it out alive.
What rides do you remember first?
The rides I remember first would probably be, well, actually staying in the Looney Tunes town, the kids coaster. It's super, what I remember it being super similar to the Silver Dollar City kids coaster, except actually that one is like moderately thrilling for a kids coaster. I've taken my friend's kid on it. It's actually kind of crazy. This one, I remember at Six Flags St. Louis was actually like a true kids coaster. And it had like one hill and you did one curve.
One little loop.
And you went, in circles. In circles. Like my mom could just go park herself on a bench and I'll be like, I'm either here, here, or here.
Yep.
That's what I remember very
I was
early
actually
on.
scared of roller coasters as a kid.
Really?
I was terrified of stuff like that.
That's crazy.
My parents actually used to have to force me to go on the log flume.
Oh, no.
Because
it's a water ride.
So we grew up going to Marriott's Great American in Santa Clara, California. Run by Marriott's, the hotel chain. They owned it for 2 years, 3 years. Real theme park. And then they sold it.
Oh.
They were the first theme park to have access to Looney Tunes. So Bugs Bunny had the show, dressed in all in red, white, and blue. Six Flags picked him up later.
I was going to say, I know nothing different than
I can
Six Flags.
still actually do the commercial jingles.
Oh my gosh.
We've got a great day for you because there's
Watch
so
out,
much
Craig.
to do.
Watch
At
out, Craig.
Marriott's Great America. Okay, I know. Isn't that scary that I can remember that after all these years?
Craig's ears are bleeding.
I know. But I was scared of the log flumes because they had dueling log flumes. They had the log jammer and then the Yankee Clipper, and their drops crossed.
That'd be wild.
So you could come down, you'd have another boat coming right at you at the same time. And they were up in the air a good ways. Great rides. But those scared me, so my parents had to almost force me to go on that. And then they had another roller coaster called Willard's Wizard. Willard Marriott was one of the deal, and of course Wizard, you can think of all the bad puns.
Could be Willows.
But it had a circular lift that went up. It was an old Schwarzkopf deal, and then it hit like 50 miles an hour, and it did a couple little sideways turns, and that was it.
That'd be fun.
It scared the stuffing out of me. It terrified me.
Okay, so I say I'm so surprised, which I am surprised to hear that from you, but I also couldn't bring myself to go on upside down roller coasters for the longest time. I had to be forced on that at some point. Because that is one of the other earlier rides that I do remember. Six Flags St. Louis was Screaming Eagle. My mom could still go on Screaming Eagle with me when I was a little kid. She doesn't do it now because it's only, it's getting older. Exactly.
It's not that it's getting older. It hasn't gotten the care it needs.
That too.
We need to take you to Kennywood.
Yeah.
Old coasters that run smooth.
Well, good.
Yeah.
But I was on
Holiday World or
oh gosh, I was so.
Coney Island Cyclone.
Yeah.
You realize that's one of the oldest coasters in the country.
So good.
It's not the age.
No.
It's the care.
Nope. That one's in great shape. That one was so fun. But I was on Screaming Eagle with my mom it had to have been the first time, if not one of the first times I was on it. We were on the lift hill. We were out of the station. There was no going back. And I was still relatively calm. But I was like, I want to get off. And my mom's like, Megan, you cannot get off. We are going on the ride right now. I was like, no, I want to get off. And then I started, I was screaming tears.
You freaked yourself out.
Yeah. Screaming tears. My mom thought it was hilarious. I thought it's hilarious, but not in the moment. For sure not in the moment.
Look at what a weirdo I was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But we made it.
Well, you're here, so I hope so.
Yeah, I made it.
So what got you over your fear of coasters?
My friend forcing me to go on. It was either Batman or Mr. Freeze. And I don't remember which one came first.
That's a big jump.
I know. She was giving me no choice. I was easily influenced,
So mine,
even though I was scared to death.
so big coasters at the time. I'm trying to think what would be the equivalent today. Um,
Oh, there was a coaster we did at Dorney that's like similar to Batman, except flipped
no,
the
think
other way.
smaller.
Oh.
So, we went on a trip to Southern California, to Disneyland and everything else. Went to Knott's Berry Farm. They had a roller coaster there called Corkscrew. This would have been about 1980. So I was 10. My sister was 6.
Yeah.
My sister was a daredevil. I was a chicken. At
that point.
Corkscrew, all it did is it went up. It was like 80 feet, so not that tall.
No.
Came down, turned around, did another little turnaround, went through 2 little corkscrews, and then back in the station.
Done.
That was the whole roller coaster.
Easy.
That was no way. I'm not getting on that thing. That sucker's scary.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
No.
So my parents said, okay, fine. We're going to go ride it. Your sister's going to ride it. You can wait here on the bench.
And you're like, by myself?
That was basically what I sat there. Okay, I'll wait. And I got myself more freaked out waiting on that bench by myself than I was of the coaster.
Oh, yeah.
And so 10-year-old me went, this is too scary to be here on my own. I don't know what I was afraid of.
Walking off of it, you probably felt like you conquered the whole world.
I went on this thing, rode it, got off. Yeah. And now at the time, aero loopers were a lot smoother than they are now.
Oh.
So think like Ninjas of Vekoma. Ninjas of Vekoma. It's not aero, but the same idea.
I don't like it.
Ninja's terrible.
I don't
but
like
at the time, they were generally smooth.
Yeah.
And so I rode that thing and got off and went, that was awesome. I was scared of that. Why was I scared of that? And that was it.
I get that was the same thing. I don't know. I don't remember if I rode Mr. Freeze or Batman first, but by the time I had gotten off of it, I was like, I want to go again.
Yeah.
And it was a very big I told you so moment, which it is what it is, but I'm glad.
Yeah, so we like I said at that point wasn't scared of anything. So Marriott's Great America actually had a roller coaster called Tidal Wave.
Like the Tidal Wave at Six Flags St. Louis, where you go up and you just get super splashed.
Nope, that's a shoot the chutes boat ride.
Oh.
Nope, this is a roller coaster.
Okay.
It's a Schwarzkopf shuttle loop. So for the coaster nerds out there, basically you get into the station, and it launches you forward out of the station into a loop. So I think it was like 50 miles an hour, 55.
Ooh.
Into a loop, up a spike, and then you come backwards down the spike, through the loop again, through the station, up another spike behind it, and then you stop in the station.
It sounds like a double Mr. Freeze.
So it was kind of the things that eventually led to stuff like Mr. Freeze.
Love Mr. Freeze.
The loop was like, nowhere near as high and fast.
True.
But that ride, when it came out, it scared people. And I remember people getting scared. We always went on weekdays. My dad would take a day off of work. We'd go on a weekday because there'd be nobody in the park, and we could do everything multiple times. I mean, literally everything. I don't remember who started it, but we get on the ride, there'd be no line. So we'd walk up, get on the ride, get off, run around, do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Oh, same.
Do it again. We're crazy. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. We're crazy. And this was our chant all the way around. And then you could just see the ride ups going.
Even while on the ride.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Yep. Yeah, we get on the ride, launch. As soon as we pull into the station, do it again. Do it again. We're crazy.
Yeah.
And the ride ups are just like.
They had opinions.
Weird people. Strange people.
I have a couple other super early memories that involve rides. I guess I don't know. The only other thing that was back in like the Looney Tunes town was the super, super mundane maze that they had. They would add stuff in it for Halloween too, which I thought was really fun as a little kid. But the other rides that I remember earliest on was Mine Train at Six Flags St. Louis, just because it's really easy to ride. But also they used to do during Halloween. I would start looking for it as I got older, and they stopped doing it over time. In the tunnel at the very end where it gets really dark, they would have black lights in it at Halloween, and somebody was totally making like some last minute ghost situation by like putting a sheet on top of a balloon, and they took like a black light marker and they put faces on it, but
Nice.
that was something I still think about to this day. Like, was it quality? No. But did it stick with me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's cheesy stuff that sticks.
And then, sorry, I got one more.
Oh, no, go.
Scooby-Doo.
Where are you?
I don't remember the actual name. Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo Ghost or Coaster?
The Scooby-Doo boat ride that... the mansion... I can't remember. I should have looked
The
this up.
Blast. I know what it is because I've been on it.
Ghost a Blast or...
Ghost or Blast. Yeah, that sounds that's pretty close.
Scooby-Doo Astro Blasters. That's not it. But that one was iconic.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
The Scooby-Doo shoot 'em rides were fun.
Yeah. Oh,
they were neat little rides.
It did make me cry the first 2 times I went on it, just because of being in the dark. I thought the van was gonna come at me, but I have a bunch of good and scary memories from right off the bat.
Can you guess what Amber and Joseph's favorite ride was when they were kids? You'll
ride?
never guess.
So
we would go to Six Flags Magic. I'll tell you, it was at Six Flags Park.
I don't know
Six
where
Flags
you guys
Magic
were
Mountain had it. I don't know if St. Louis had one or not. I think so. But yeah, it was in the kids area, Bugs Bunny World at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Was it? I'm trying to think back to the old timey kids area in St. Louis.
It was a ride.
It was the airplanes?
Mm-mm.
Was it the tugboat? Was it the moon cars? Oh, I don't think that's part of the kids area. I don't know.
Moon cars are cool.
I
can't
like
find those anymore.
I liked the moon cars. I even liked it when they started weaving through Evel Knievel, American Thunder, whatever. But
love American Thunder.
Oh, so good. I don't know though.
That might be my favorite coaster at the park right now. But
so good. My mom likes that one.
The Tweety bird cages.
That rings a bell, but I definitely never rode
giant
it.
bird cages. There was like 6 or 8 of them around this, and they just went in circles, and you lock the kids up in a giant bird cage.
Perfect.
1 or 2 kids per cage, and they would get in there. My son got in trouble for turning himself upside down in them.
Wow.
Or they would be yelling with their hands out, "Let us out! Don't eat us!" And
the drama.
Oh my! They had a couple times where the ride ops stopped the ride because they thought the kids were in trouble, and then they go, "No, don't stop the ride. We're pretending. What are you doing?" They had more fun on those things, pretending they were locked up by a giant or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was
a kid getting to use their imagination. Absolutely. I don't remember going on something like that at Six Flags, at my Six Flags, but that doesn't mean they didn't have it. I don't know. That sounds fun.
That was far and away their favorite ride.
For a little kid, yeah.
That was one that we knew when we went to Magic Mountain. Okay, we got 30 minutes of rides in the bird cages.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Got 30 minutes to sit on a bench.
Okay, so first ride.
The first ride I remember doing at Disney World was actually Haunted Mansion. You would think for me it would be something like Peter Pan or It's a Small World, or no, it was the Haunted Mansion. And I remember it specifically because this was my first trip. This was 2003. I was 5. And
freaked you out.
No, this is why I remember it, is because we actually got stuck in the Madame Leota room. But we
It's probably my least favorite room on the ride.
I don't know. We were looking straight at her. We could all 3 fit in a car. I was a super little kid. So my parents on either side of me, we get stopped in the Madame Leota room, and she's looking straight at us. And my parents, they were looking over my head at each other. They were like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, she's gonna freak out. She's gonna freak out." And I just sat there and I stared, and I enjoyed myself. And the reason they remember it is because of how much I did not freak out.
Yeah. So a lot of things, when my kids were little, we would turn stuff like that into a game.
Yeah.
Hey, why are you looking at me, ugly? What's wrong with you? And just stuff like that.
This ride is temporarily stopped.
Oh yeah, we'll temporarily stop you. Yeah.
That's literally my earliest Disney memory, is getting stuck on the Haunted Mansion with Madame Leota and my parents.
Great memory. You got other favorite memories from when you were little? I'd love to hear them. Share them in the comments. We want to know. Similar to ours? Different? Talk away. Thank you guys so much for watching, too. I hope you had fun with this. Be sure to check the description, too. There's all sorts of stuff. I get people asking, what's your address for mail? Check the description. What about that stuff you use? Check the description. What about merch? Check the description. What about patronage? Check the description. Just check the description. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to our supporters, too. We hope you have a great time. God bless.
Hey. No.
Okay.
Oh, the screen isn't flipped the
I
other
didn't
way.
flippy the screen. Okay.
That's the main thing I...
That's what I'm trying not to do.
Bloopers.
Stay there.
Stay.
Okay.
Did it.
I think we are set. Okay, sound cue. That was terrible. I can't clap. It has been a day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions, your ideas. Be sure to share them in the comments below, or you can contact me. There's information in the description that has my email address, fan pages, information about merchandise, and so much more. So be sure to check that out. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and if you haven't already, hit the button right up there to subscribe. And in fact, if you did enjoy this, I've even got another video for you right here. And also about these wonderful people here, those are my YouTube members and my patrons, the ones whose financial support makes this possible. I couldn't do it without them. If you want to know more about that and the perks that come with it, well, be sure to check the description. There's a link right down there. Thank you so incredibly much. God bless.